Paul just gave what might have been the saddest "Are you ready?"
Yes,
ever.
right. Not so much an affirmation, but just like defeat, surrender. Like,
Yeah, talking about surrender, that was a real good segue here. If you are a diehard Cortana fan, you might want to
hey,
take a
who is that person?
You know,
Seriously,
yeah, I'm sure that they're out there. They probably are surrounded by a
why?
circle of invokes.
Sorry.
But, well, if you're one of those people, take a seat, maybe turn the podcast off. Because this one hurts probably a little bit, because Microsoft announced today that if you have Google Assistant, you can now use it to control this thing relatively complex. I mean, like, you can have it launch apps, launch games, can turn the volume up and all that. And
Yep.
so I think it's, generally speaking, a net positive, because it's obviously Microsoft just embracing that, hey, Cortana's not going to be the be-all, end-all solution. We're just going to embrace everything. And so there you go. Google Assistant now working on this. Makes you kind of wonder when it's coming to Windows 10.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It definitely is coming. In fact, one of the changes they made under the hood, I guess in 1903, was this notion that third-party assistants could be available above the lock screen, right? So this is part of the platform now. Like, they're just inviting everyone in.
Yeah.
I don't see any problems with this. What could go wrong? Also, I mean, I don't know. Does people really use stuff like this a lot? What do you? I mean,
Yeah.
start a playlist. Tell me a joke. When was the last time I asked anything to tell me like today's news, or I don't know.
I've done the news on occasion, but we've talked about this many times. 95% of our usage of the Amazon device involves one of three things. Turn on the lights.
Does one of them involve the word frozen?
Pretty close. I was going to say Spice Girls,
Okay.
but it's
we've moved on.
Actually, it's probably the Moana soundtrack is my daughter's favorite song. But it's either turn on the lights, set a timer, or play the Moana soundtrack on the speakers.
Okay.
But don't worry, Paul. Frozen 2 is coming out in November, and I can almost guarantee I will be seeing that in the theaters.
Oh God, I hope they call it refrozen.
When they do a prequel, it'll just be called Slightly Thawed.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But anyways,
God. Well, this is not. Yeah, it is. I was going to say it's not another nail in the coffin. I mean, it's not unexpected, right?
Right. I mean, it's if you think Cortana's going to have some sort of long-standing revival, and Microsoft's just going to dump a bunch of money into consumer products for it, you might want to take another seat. I don't know if you can go like a little further down on the step stool level, but
yeah. How about that Amazon stuff, though? Huh?
So I am pretty sure I know how Amazon R&D works, Paul. I'm pretty sure I figured it out. They go to Bed Bath & Beyond. They walk down the aisles and say, put Alexa in that, and that, and that, and then they launch it. That's all.
I've said this before about Amazon. I have to give them credit for this.
Sure.
Like they are committed.
Oh yeah.
And if you're in this ecosystem, just rest assured, because like you said, if there's something that doesn't move, Alexa's going to be in it. And when they're done with that, they're going to get to moving things too. But I found, this is the third year in a row they've done this kind of tsunami style announcement. I believe they've announced more stuff at this event than they did ever before, like by a wide margin. It's crazy, like how it has escalated.
A ring, like literally a ring that you can wear. You can say kiss the ring and then ask it what time it is, and then glasses. Then they announced like a home speaker setup, which is like a premium studio kind of Sonos competitor thing. Updated dots, updated displays. Which that dot, by the way, I think was pretty smart. They put a little clock in it.
Nice. I know.
That's smart.
That's a smart. I saw the same. I was like, yeah. And like, I don't. The problem for me is like I'm Chromecast, right? So if it doesn't work with Chromecast, I can't do it. And I looked over their stuff because honestly, I could kind of picture, even without Chromecast support, I could kind of picture getting two of those Echo Studios and using them with what I'm sure they have like an Echo soundbar now or whatever it's called, and like using that for my TV. as like kind of a surround sound, Dolby Atmos, whatever. It looks interesting.
So the one thing I'm waiting for from Spotify, and this would be interesting because it would really hurt Sonos, but it would make me very happy because that little studio thing that they announced is like a sound bar with a speaker and all that crap. I'm vaguely interested in that because the Sonos soundbar that I want, or the Beam, is like $400. What's missing for me though is in Spotify you can go to there's a little button down there and then you can broadcast it to speakers. Yeah. But currently I don't believe you can create your own group.
That was my Chromecast comment. So Google Play Music, is that right? Sorry. Yes. Google Play Music can also play to Sonos, right? And that's outside of the Chromecast ecosystem. It's just they just have that compatibility. So you don't have to use the Sonos app if you want to play your music. What am I stopping on here? Oh, so Amazon last year announced a Chromecast type of thing. I don't remember the name of it. I don't see that anywhere, right? So I don't see that kind of thing anywhere. And that's kind of what I meant. Even though it's not strictly Chromecast, I do have Chromecast around the house. We do have Sonos as well. Most of the apps I use can play directly to Sonos. So for example, if I'm getting ready in the morning, I'll play an audiobook to the Sonos in the bathroom. That works fine. Like it's not a Chromecast thing. It just kind of works. And that's the stumbling block here, right? Like I looked at their stuff, and the first thing I was looking for was stereo pairing, which is available, and also pairing with two of those studio speakers and then whatever the soundbar was called, which is great. So that's why I thought TV. But ideally you'd have those things in the room with the TV, and they would just be stereo speakers for music as well, right? And this is the interoperability that I need, right? And Sonos is kind of moving toward it. They've added AirPlay support pretty pervasively. They have not done the same for Chromecast, even though they added Google Assistant support, right? So it's these kind of things make this.
Yeah, the problem with Sonos, though, which their stuff is very high quality and I like it, it's just expensive.
Expensive, yeah. Well, there's always the IKEA option. Right now we have lower price Sonos.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's nice. A nice looking speaker. Like I saw that. I was like, I could picture doing this. Plus, two of those things for $400, right? $350 for one Apple HomePod. It's like the
HomePod here is the real outlier because it is one device, one real ecosystem, one music service for the most part, one digital assistant, and it's very expensive.
Yeah, it's probably great. I'm sure the sound quality. Apple tends to do pretty well in that kind of thing, but it's not spending $700 to get a pair of speakers. It's crazy.
Right.
So
I don't know. We'll see, because this is pretty top of mind, because where I am looking right now, if all things kind of line up here in about 3-ish months or so, I'll have a new kind of not home theater, but an area in my basement with a brand new TV, and I'm going to want to put a sound bar in it. And
you're going to want to do something. Yeah.
And I don't
actually,
really.
I will say this. Oh, this doesn't help you, but actually, maybe it does. The Amazon, what's it called, Echo Studio speakers actually do have a line-in port. So if you want to add like a Chromecast audio to that, you could. But the thing is, to do the TV kind of thing that I was just thinking of, the thing I forgot. I'm forgetting all kinds of stuff. I'm sorry. For people watching this show or listening, we're doing this about 2 hours earlier than usual. This day has been completely screwed up by the OnePlus event. I've got a briefing that with a PC maker. We have our own meeting, and it's just like back. It's all back. So I'm all screwed up. But to do the Dolby Atmos, blah, 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 whatever, you actually have to insert a newer Fire TV device as well, right? So that's okay. But I know you watch on an Apple TV. I usually watch on a Roku. It's I don't know. So there's a lot of complexity here, unfortunately, because I think like you, we probably have the same reaction. It's probably like the 7 stages of grief. You're like, oh my God. Oh, hold on a second.
Wait a second.
Hold on. Maybe I can make this work. I was like, oh no, shit, I can't.
No, that's exactly what it is. Like I look at it like,
forth,
like I could see myself buying that. And then I think, oh God, but I've got all the Sonos equipment. So, okay, can I make it? You're exactly right. It's like, how can I hodgepodge this together
you have
to make my life worse?
And then at the end, you're like, I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind having separate things depending on what they are, For example, like the thing I just described in the living room, for me, it's like maybe I could always do line in for the music thing, so that kind of works. But then it's like but then it's like the Amazon Fire thing. I'm like, I don't know. And for you, I don't know. Like, there probably must be well, you use Alexa anyway, so that is probably okay for music, but you can't integrate it with Sonos.
Yeah.
And then of course the TV thing, I don't know how you'd solve that either. It's not good.
No, it's not. Good. It's not. But yeah. So anyways, we'll see. Oh, they also came out with earbuds, like an Apple whatever.
Well, they're more like the Galaxy Buds, right?
Yeah, they're more like that, but they're
kind of
competitor type thing. Which did you see, by the way? I don't know. I don't understand how this happened. I need to go back. I think it's 9 to 5 Mac pointed it out. This guy was on Bloomberg. He was an Amazon executive promoting the new Amazon things, but he was wearing AirPods. I'm not even making this up. Not even making it up. I wonder if I can find it real quick.
That's awesome. I did see a quote from, it might have been the same guy. He was talking about that thing that you plug into a power socket. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have Alexa everywhere in the house. And he's like, I don't see why you don't have one of these in every room of your house. I have one in my bathroom. And it was like, dude, seriously.
Yeah. Here's the exact headline from 9 to 5 Mac. Amazon executive promotes the company's new Echo Buds while wearing AirPods. And like, he's actually wearing them.
I think you can see now, why on earth was he making a point?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I mean, that's like BMW launching a car and the guy rolls up in an S-Class, right? Like like, here's our new high-end BMW. Let me just get out of my Mercedes, and that'll make it better. So,
I mean, yeah, it's like right. It's like I'm trying to think of some. Someone shows up to some phone maker event and they're using an iPhone, instead of that company's phone.
Yep. So there's a lot of interesting Amazon stuff. We'll see what actually makes it. They also announced too Eero, EERO, which is the router company that they bought, an updated version of that, which I think is very similar to what the new Google stuff is going to be. I think the endpoints have the Amazon stuff built in. I'm intentionally avoiding the name, folks, by the way, if you haven't figured it out, because I have one of the things. And if I say that name, bad things will happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think about all this stuff, and it's dumb because I have a wireless system that works fine. I don't have any need to replace it or do anything. I every once in a while it comes up and I look at it and everything's great. It always works. But same thing. It's like the speaker. I kind of look at this and I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah. And I don't even know why. Like, what is broken inside of me that like even makes me think about this stuff? It's so weird. Well, we don't have time for that show, but but who can say? I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is. So we've got that. Then obviously, so if you haven't checked out Walking Cat today, by the way, folks, he apparently has uncovered the treasure trove of names. I forgot to pull his thing up because again, as Paul noted,
sorry,
we are doing this early, but he uncovered a bunch of code names, which I can exclusively confirm are all the consumer/marketing names. They are not the engineering names. And so there is Patagonia, Campus, Harper, Avery Island, Amor, and Katana. I'm guessing Surface Sword is inbound, and that'll be great.
Surface Sword?
Yes, because it's Katana is the code name for one of them. Yeah. But anyway, so he also uncovered some colors that are coming, and potentially here it looks like maybe a Surface laptop without the carpet on it.
Katana is the pen.
Oh, is it?
Because the pen is mightier than the sword.
That's far too logical. Yeah. But I'm not saying it's wrong. He is also saying he's seeing USB-C everywhere, which I feel like we've all heard on this podcast multiple times. There's also a new Surface Pro, which is thinner, comes with LTE, and has a slightly different form factor, which is going to be, I can almost guarantee, is the Surface Pro with an ARM chip inside of it. Because
he says at least one of these devices is going to have 2 USB-C ports.
Yeah.
How radical.
Very, very. But if you've been listening to this podcast, I think we've been saying this for a long time. No Thunderbolt, though. Still not hearing any Thunderbolts. He says a Surface Pro with a thinner bezel and LTE, which if you look at historically how Microsoft has launched LTE devices on the Surface Pro, it's always 5 months, something later. It's never at launch. So the only way that they're going to do this is with an ARM chip, and I'm pretty confident that that's what that is. And I don't believe it is the redesigned Surface Pro that I wrote about, I think in my book called Carmel. I'm still hearing that has been pushed to next year. And so we're just going to see a traditional rev of the Surface Pro, the new Surface Pro with an ARM chip, an updated Surface laptop, potentially without the carpet, AMD Picasso chip inside, and then whatever else they've got up their sleeve. But the colors for the Surface stuff that Walking Cat found there, sandstone, which I would guess is some sort of like Honda Accord 1998 beige color.
Yep.
Poppy red and ice blue.
Wow, like the beer.
Isn't
that a thing? Labatt Blue Ice or something? Some terrible Canadian beer.
Wow. Do we have enough time to get Labatt Blue shirts before we roll in?
Right.
So, yeah, lots of good stuff.
I was thinking we should try to get all of the bloggers to wear Thunderbolt 3 shirts.
Oh.
Just like arrive with a box of them. I mean, most of them would have to be like triple extra large, but just kind of hand them out to whoever wants them.
Here's what we can do. I could get a shirt that says Thunder. You get a shirt that says Bolt, and we'll get Mary Jo that says the shirt that has the number 3.
No, hers will say Bring the.
Oh.
Because that was the theme. Remember, Bring the Thunder?
Yeah.
Now they need to bring the Thunderbolt.
We should hand a bumper sticker that says I'm only here for the Thunderbolt 3. And just
I
just
went
make
to
sure
the
we don't ever
Surface
get
launch and
invited
all I
again.
got was not this Thunderbolt 3. No.
All right. Well, we'll end it on that happy note. You got anything else for today, Paul?
No, just going to be a busy day. So
this was a good podcast. I feel like it was action packed.
Right. We stayed away from the home renovations. Although I should say there is a tree crew outside my house right now tearing down 6 of my neighbors' trees.
6?
Yeah. And for the same reason they took down those trees in the circle. They're all diseased, right? So it's a huge problem in this area. Like, I guess all the pine trees are succumbing to some, whatever the disease is. Like we have at least one in our yard that's dead and maybe 2 or 3 that are kind of on the way. Like at some point we're going to have to do the same thing, but that's just unbelievable because it's, this place is very kind of wooded. It's nice. It's rural and like the trees are coming down and it's like, oh God, the last thing I want to do is see my neighbor's house, but there it is.
Yeah.
So
there you go, folks. That about wraps it up for today. Tomorrow is Friday, which means it's a live show, which means we will be on the air at 1 p.m. Eastern time, talking a little bit about stuff for next week, especially the schedule because it's going to be a little wonky, and have yourselves a wonderful day.